Hey, welcome back to the table. So we're going to start another round. It's really late at night, so I'm only going to be able to do one round or try to get as much of one round in as I can. Uh, there's still a lot of game left here, and I guess it's both good and bad. This is definitely an epic game in terms of time and space, components, um, things that we need to do. Uh, my quick review so far is I'm not sure I'm a fan of it yet. I love dungeon romps. I hate splitting up my party. Splitting up my party helps me to win this game. Um, I don't know if I would be able to split up my party if I didn't have two allies with me, though. And allies do make the game easier. So if you're watching this playthrough and you think that this game is too easy or it's looking too easy, just understand I took two allies with me, and that's not how the game is balanced. I mean, the allies are meant to make the game easier. It's almost like I just reduced the difficulty level. So, that's just your decision. That's the cool part about a solitaire game. But the big thing that's sort of nagging at me is not the splitting up the party part. It's the fact that every room has just one feature, and the way you win is to get to the bottom of the feature deck. So just think about this strategically for a second with me. If the altar, which is what you need to win, right? Because you have to combine your clues at the altar to put your quest token on, and then it helps you to win the game. Well, the only way you can get to the altar is to burn through all the features in the deck of features, which means you have to burn through a bunch of rooms. So the part that's difficult for me as a dungeon romping kind of player is that I'm going through these rooms and I have no purpose other than to hurry up to the next room. And maybe every dungeon's that way for some of you. I don't know, but for me, there's a sense of adventure of being able to discover treasure, which there is a search feature. I'm not trying to say that it's not here and it's not in the game. The issue I have is that it's mechanical. It's so mechanical. You open a new room, you clear out the room. You maybe get to search once. I mean, I guess every dungeon romping game, if you really break it down, burns into you go into a room, you clear it out, and then you look for treasure. I guess I'm not trying to poo-poo that. I just feel like some dungeons you really can make a right instead of a left, and you just cut yourself out of having to plow through all these enemies because you made the right choice, and you find the treasure chalice, and you get home and you save the princess, right? Um, and I guess I'm comparing to this like Folklore the Affliction or Sword and Sorcery, other games I play where I go into a dungeon. The dungeon is pre-mapped out. There may be random elements to it, but you have a dungeon and you know that you need to find something and it's somewhere. It's in, one of six places. And yeah, you have to go there, and maybe it'll be the first of the six places you look. And if so, then great. Then you get home and you win. This one, I know it's going to be at the last place I look, or one of the last three places that I look. And I don't know why, but that just really deflates me. But I don't want to say I don't like the game. I'm just saying it bugs me. And I'm still enjoying it, and I apologize. It's been a couple days since I've been able to put out a video, and here I am super late at night. I really shouldn't be even doing this particular video. But I didn't want to go too many days without getting another one out. And I do find ourselves in a neat situation. I'm liking it with the allies. Like, as a solitaire player, controlling two characters and then having two allies does give me that party feel, even if it lowers the difficulty of the game. I really do like that. Now, one of the things, if you want to do what I'm doing and still make it harder, then add villains. So take Gert here. He's part of the scheme, but we have on the other side, he could possibly be a villain. And so what you can do is, for example, Vivian here, you can just take the Vivian card, which is somewhere in here. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'll find it very easily. If I can pick up the deck. Let's just assume it's not the bottom card. So the Vivian card, oh, here she is. So Vivian, if she was, the scheme, you would use this side. But what we could have done is we could have added Vivian to the game, and then she would get shuffled in with the Raglander's deck. I know it's going to be weird because she's sort of, she's not going to look like a Raglander's deck, so she's going to be coming, but she could come out just like the Raglanders come out. Like when you open a room, she could be one of the enemies that comes out, and she's going to be a heck of a lot more powerful. Look at that, 9p hit points. So that's 18 hit points, so that's a very powerful enemy, and she's going to have more powerful abilities. So you can add, so since I have 2 allies in the game, we could add 2 villains to the game, and that would really, that would change it, and that would definitely make it a lot harder, because those 2 rooms aren't going to be very easy to clear. So I just wanted to point that out, that's something that is an option for you if you want to make it harder. And I think after playing this, I may do that, and we may do that on a future mission if I'm starting to find this is getting too easy because I have 2 allies with me. For my first game, I don't view it that way at all, because I know I'm making tactical mistakes and I'm not playing optimally. Which, by the way, somebody pointed out that one of my cards said move a figure, which means I could have moved an enemy and moved them across my traps, so I could have really triggered a chain reaction of traps. Gosh darn it, I never even thought of that. What a brilliant idea. So, and I've played tons of Gloomhaven. That's exactly what you do in Gloomhaven. So, what a great idea, great suggestion by folks. Last thing I want to mention is that someone did send me what's in Box 1 and Box 2. And so I want you to know that this game is safely devoid of any spoilers. There is a minor possibility that I quickly scanned past a component that was in Box 1 and Box 2, but I assure you, Box 1 and Box 2 was not in this gameplay so far. In fact, it was all components that I did not choose to use if I had a choice, or if it was something that could have come into the game. I've already gone through the deck and taken it out, and it never actually appeared in this game. Okay? So all the spoiler material is out. We are safe for playing this, and a huge thank you to the viewer who was able to help me out with that. I never would have figured it out. Okay, so I know I'm sitting here talking about I want to make this turn quick, and I'm rambling because that's what I do. All right, everybody refreshes their stuff. I'm off camera. I am refreshing the action points. Let's do a quick reset of where we're at. So Karen here has some shields on her and 2 damage and 1 inspiration token. The cleric here has no damage. The enemy here has 1 shield on him. That enemy has 1 shield and 1 monster token. Okay. What's his face? Has 3 damage out of 12. And then our mage has 3 damage out of 7. Okay? Alright, so let's get cracking. We have over there we have a trap and a minion, and then the mirror to take care of. And over here we have 2 lurkers that spawned, and also a minion spawned, even though it was one of those deals where we didn't have a minion, so we had to spawn one. So we actually have 3 enemies in this room. So what I'm thinking is Karen's going to have to spend most of her turn dealing with those enemies, but she needs to get out of this room because this coffin here is bad. It's just an extremely bad situation. We do have traps out on the outside of this door, and I think we're going to take advantage of that because we're going to basically run away. And those monsters are going to have to follow us, and they're going to just step on more traps along the way. The other thing is the other players or viewers have confirmed that they agree with me on the rules, that since we didn't open this door, even though we opened this room, this door is still closed, and it can't be opened by a monster, but it's considered unlocked, and we could open it anytime we choose. But the monsters won't open the doors, is really the clear part of that. And so I've got alignment there. And to be quite honest, I didn't get any errata feedback, which of course was the famous last words last time I mentioned that. So I'm going to get Karen out of this room, and we're going to maybe open another room with her. I know that's pouring out the monsters, but that's how we win this game, right? And then Cedric or Ulrich von Liechtenstein, his situation is a lot worse. He's got to get rid of the trap, he's got to get rid of that monster, and he's got to get next to that mirror. We got to do all three of those. So we're going to start with Ulrich, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with the mage, because I want to use the mage to kill that monster that's in front of Ulrich. The monster is at full health, which is not good. And I'm reaching to grab the card. And here's what's in front of Ulrich. Okay. I could zoom it in, I guess. That does sometimes help. But it takes up more space on the... Wait, I zoomed in way too much. Let's try that. Alright, so it lets you read the text, but I think by now you're starting to get a feel that the text is pretty much the same. They do get extra bonuses if there's diamonds left, which we currently have 3 diamonds, so we're going to have to make sure that that's not the case whenever it's done. And yeah, let's get going here. So our mage rolls 3 dice for the attack. So the mage gets to do a move and attack. Or it's I gotta look at the exact wording. Move up to 5 spaces, then either attack or change the altar dice. So it is a ranged attack. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna at least get 1 space away from that monster. Do a range attack against the monster. The problem I'm having here is that I don't think he's going to be able to kill the monster on his own. But Ulrich does have a pendant, which gives him a critical, and so we're going to possibly use that. So anyways, let's go ahead and start with the mage. Going to roll 3 dice. And there we go. We have 2 focus and a hit. So that would be possibly 3 hit if he spends both of his focus. And he will do that. So that's going to give him 3 hits. And then Ulrich has this pendant here, which basically says that we can exhaust it. After a hero within range rolls dice for a test, they may discard 1 inspiration to add a critical success to the results. And that's exactly what we're going to do. It's his last inspiration, but we will do that. And so by adding, I'm looking for the rest of my dice. So we just added a critical, which means I get to roll another, and that's also a critical. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and I still get to keep rolling, so I'm going to roll this one. And there's another hit. That's a 6th hit. And then that gives us a token back. So we're going to just take a token back. I don't have any more to spend. So we did 6 hits to this guy. Now if we look over here, he has only 5 health, but he has 2 armor. So those 6 hits got absorbed. 1, 2, and then this was 3. So he absorbed 3 of the 6 hits. But 3 did go through, which is good. And this guy is mostly dead, but as Monty Python would say, he's not dead yet. And that's unfortunate, because we need to kill this guy. We also need to take care of the trap. We need to do all sorts of stuff. And what makes it even worse is Ulrich is 1 space away. And if I move towards the trap to take care of the trap, then this bad guy is going to go and probably kill our mage, which we don't necessarily want. So are we in a rush? Probably not. We do have a trap and an odor. that Ulrich needs to get rid of. Ugh. What I probably should have done, well, no, because the mage can't attack the trap from far away, so that won't work either. So, oh, you know what? We have the blinding powder. We could use that to stun the enemy. And the purpose of that would just be that then the enemy doesn't get to attack our mage. It gives us another turn, right? So Ulrich can focus on getting rid of the trap and stuff like that. I'm going to do that. Let's just go big or go home, right? So we're going to play this blinding powder. So use it. It's a consumable. Exhaust a minion within range, and the range is 5. So Ulrich is going to use this. This will go in a discard pile, and let me reach across the table to do that, and then help you see what's going on the game board. So the range is 5, and basically what we did is we exhausted the minion. So you could, rotate the card, you could knock him over, and then what's going to happen is when he activates, all he's going to do is stand up. He doesn't actually get to do any actions. So now I can devote myself to getting next to this mirror so I can get a clue, and then dealing with that trap. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, I have to spend a whole turn just to move one space. And then when I move that one space, I am going to trigger a trap. So let me grab that trap card. And the trigger for the trap says let me get rid of this card. Each minion threat card gains 1 threat token. And so that means that we're going to be putting these tokens onto the minion threat cards. So this is interesting because that includes the minions that came out of the lurkers. So I'm putting out 4 tokens right now. 1 on the guy we just stunned, and then 3 that are in the room with Karen. Okay, so remember, the threat tokens don't hurt us until the Raglanders take their turn. But yes, so going next to the trap basically helps stinkify the enemy. And now we get to try to resolve the trap. But remember, the trap, it's an interact action, right? I have 2 actions left. It's an interact, and you can see here that the task is the orange dice, and I need to get 4 progress. Now, one thing I want to pause and possibly retcon is we forgot to look through his deck of cards. Some of his deck of cards let him move a space and do things. Here's one where I could discard an inspiration and move up to 2 spaces and perform an action. And it's an ongoing card, and it doesn't even cost, well, yes, it is an action to play it. And then I could exhaust it with a fire to discard an inspiration to heal damage or gain an inspiration. Yeah, that's the silly one. But we're going to play this card here. Okay, so this is an ongoing effect, and in fact I'm going to put it here so you can see it while I'm talking and doing things. So this is an ongoing effect, so it's going to stay in his tableau, and by staying in his tableau he's going to get to use it again and again. Now it does say action on it and then ongoing, so it's going to be an action to play that card. But then from here on out, as long as I have an inspiration token to get rid of, I get to move 2 spaces and take an action for free. That's not going to cost me, I just use the card. So there's an initial action to play it, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I told you he doesn't have any inspiration tokens anymore, but his character card has a thing where if we get rid of a diamond, which is one of these dice, we get to put an inspiration on a hero. So I'm going to do that, and I just rolled a water. We're going to get an inspiration and spend it right away, and that's what moved us next to the trap and did everything we just did. Now, all that is to say is I now have this card played. It's in his tableau, and we can use it in the future. And he still has only 2 actions left. one of the cards he has that he could play is he could do a search, which is fantastic. But with monsters in the room and all that other stuff, I don't really want to do that. So he did have Valiant Stand, but we're not going to do that either. We're going to spend the next 2 actions trying to take out that trap. I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do. Yes, that's what we're going to do. And what's interesting is I played that Light of the Illuminary, and look what I have 2 more of in my hand. So remember, these are ongoing effects, right? I don't need the other 2 cards. This is like really redundant. But I guess, he does have a very, very sizable deck. So it is possible that you need all 3 of these cards because you may not ever draw one. But I ended up drawing probably all 3 of the versions of this that was in the deck. So pretty useless, these cards. If I ever have to discard a card to do something, these would be the ones I would do. But so far that has not been the case for him. Okay, so let's do some testing. He has a 2 for his Fortitude, which is the test we need for the traps. And I'm going to grab the trap real quick. And just like always, we'll put it in the corner so you can see what we're rolling against. And again, I had to be within range 1. I'm going to do this test, which is a 2 dice test for him. And we're going to try to get 4 progress. So here's the first action, his second action total here. So there's 2 progress right there, and that's a crit. And that's another crit for 3 progress. That's another crit for 4. I just destroyed the trap. And then that's a success. I was hoping to maybe get a token out of the deal. But I just did it all in 1 turn. That is excellent dice rolling, by the way. So we destroyed a trap. So that means we get a token. And we're doing excellent, by the way, with the supply tokens. And the trap's gone. And now he still has another turn left. That was unexpected, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get rid of the stench. So this card goes away. And I'm going to discard that. I already took the supply. And he has an event that's attached to him. This thing, the Curious Odor. So we're going to go ahead and just try to get rid of that. So if you interact with this, you do an intellect test, and you just need 1 success to get rid of this. Now, his intellect is very poor. Actually, it's a 2. So he's okay. We're going to roll 2 dice. We just need 1 success. And I have it right there. And then this one is a second success, and then we will take the focus token. He desperately needs those. And so this Curious Odor now gets discarded. Oh, no. Oh, there it is again. I almost made the same mistake as I did with the trap. Right there, I need 3. That 1 just means I have to be, I think, within 1. Hold on, what does that 1 mean? I'm going to look this up. So, lurker cards, quest cards, feature cards. It is a progress threshold. Alright, give me a second on this one. I'm gonna... Okay, so once again, the rules are clear. It's just, you gotta know where to find them, and it's gotta look in several places, but... Okay, so you need 3 progress to get rid of this card. This task, when it has a number after it, that number means you need that many successes to consider it. This task is going to resolve as either pass or fail. That's it. So I basically have to interact with this 3 times to get rid of this card. So by getting my successes that I did, it doesn't matter how many I got. I just needed 1. And I get to put 1 progress token on this, and that's it. So I got to do this interact action 2 more times to get rid of it completely. So that is crappy. That's rather crappy. It's going to be really hard to get rid of those. But what else was I supposed to do with my action? I mean, it might have been easier to just rest, because I could have discarded a supply to heal 2 damage. That would have actually been better. um, or even channel to gain a focus and change an altar die. But we'll go ahead and put the progress token on because that's the action I chose to do. Um, but yeah, what a stinker that turned out to be. The good news is no one's going to attack us over there, so we're good to go there. So Ulrich, his turn is over. We're going to go ahead and draw the card for him. And we got Devoted Leader here. For each success, he's going to test the Charisma. He's going to choose a hero within range to gain an inspiration. It's a feat, so it's a free card to play. And then if you have a flame, each hero within range can discard an inspiration to deal damage. Okay, he's got a lot of cards in his hand right now, by the way, so he's doing great. So now we move to Karen and her situation. And I think what we want to do with her is we just want to lay as many traps as we can in their way. We're going to ignore the monsters, and we're going to just open another room, which is going to bring more monsters. One errata that somebody did point out is if I'm standing in this room, they felt that the only thing I could attack is this space in the room. I don't think that's true. I think as long as you can connect any space to any other space, you can attack them. The issue is that these walls, of course, are very constraining, and you can only go so far. But somebody did point out that some of the cards are written that you can only attack in a room, like you have to be in the room with them to be able to do certain things, and that might be true. Again, I'm going to point to the rulebook as, gosh darn it, wouldn't it have been nice if they gave some examples, but they didn't. So anyways, let's keep going here. We're going to do Karen now, and Karen has this thing. Choose a hero to gain a focus, and then if we have a water, you could choose a figure within range to move up to 2 spaces. And this is the thing that somebody was mentioning to me. So I'm going to do this, and we actually have the water, and that 7 range is awesome. This is the trinket. Karen is an awesome character, by the way. So she's going to choose Ulrich to gain the focus, and then we're going to do the water thing. So first of all, focus for Ulrich. He's got 3 now. And then here's the water. We're going to re-roll it, and it became another diamond. That's not good. We actually still have 3 diamonds left. And now, let's just look at her situation. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the minions are in range. So what she's going to do is she's going to pick this one to move 2 spaces. 1, 2. And we're just going to trigger traps like mad. Now, one thing I forgot, though, I'm actually wrong on this, is when a trap gets triggered, it goes away. It doesn't stay there. So these 2 are actually gone. And so what I really am trying to do is trigger. So I'm going to do 1, 2 still, but I'm only triggering 1 trap. Is that really worth doing? No, it's not. He's going to trigger that trap as soon as he moves after me anyways. So instead, I'm going to move this figure 1, 2, like so. Because then he can move into the room and attack. Now, I did choose to start with Karen, so we're going to do that, and I'm going to look real quick at her cards, figure out what this is. Surveying the Prey. Play this card on yourself, move each enemy within range up to 3 spaces each, and then we can exhaust for a diamond, move either one enemy within range, one snare token up to 2 spaces. That's a good card. I don't know if I want to do that at the moment. This one's an action, which I also don't know if I want to do. It's a good one. It's got an 8 range on it. These ones, I need to be really close range, so I can't do those. And then Hunter's Instinct lets me search the room, which that actually might be worth doing, because I don't intend to ever enter this room again. And then I'm going to get out of dodge, right? Actually, as far as cards go, that is the only card worth trying. So I will do that. It's not going to help me, to open the other room, but I will at least do this. Um, so I'm going to search with the blue, which her blue is only 1. And then I'm going to gain +1 for each snare token in the room, which is only 1. So I'm going to get to roll 2 dice. It's not super exciting, but it's better than nothing. And that does consume one of our actions. And here we go. So for the 2 dice, I have a success, which is going to give me, that's going to get me a search card. I have this, which is going to give me a supply. That's a critical. And there's another critical. And then there's another success. And yes, she will take the focus. So this is the search card. And then we have 1, 2, 3 more. So we're going to get 3 more supplies out of the deal. It's another Chinese New Year. So I just want to show this to you. These are the 10 that I set aside for leveling up, and this is all the extra we have. We have a ton of supplies right now. Okay, and then I'm going to set the camera down. Hopefully I won't bump it here. I got to reach across the table and grab that search token, or search card. And I got an improvised shield, so I gained 2 armor tokens. I will take it. It's just a temporary thing, happens right away, and Karen gets 2 armor tokens, and we will put that on Karen. Karen actually has 4 armor tokens right now. That's really good. And then we have 2 more actions left. Remember, you have to complete all the actions of a character before you can do the others. So she's going to go 1, 2. I'm going to move this door out of the way, show you the problem. I can't go diagonally through a door. And this guy's in his way, and I can't end my turn on his space. So I actually can only move 2 spaces and have to end. And now I can go 1 here, 2, and then 3. I can open this door with my last action, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to open this door, and let's trigger everything that goes with that. So first thing we do is we draw the feature. And it is the cage. I was looking at this one. The miniature, at least. Hero adjacent to this feature can reveal the top card of the threat deck. That's an activate. So this doesn't hurt us, at least. And then we can interact with it to search. If no figure is in a cage, then you can choose a minion threat in the room and place that figure in the cage. That's funny. And then shuffle the threat card back into the threat deck. When this figure's card is drawn, the figure is spawned adjacent to this feature. Probably because he, escaped from the cage, I guess. Okay, so we have yet another feature. There's a whole bunch of them that's going to be drawn before this is over. And I don't need to pause the video for this one. This miniature has been catching my eye ever since we got it. So it's going to go here. Like so. So it's going to be a big one. Take 4 spaces. Definitely right next to us. So that's done. We're going to spawn our quest card, which is going to likely attach itself. You can pause for the text. And yes, it's going to be attached. Here, who does not control clue card. Each hero does not control clue card may move up to 3 spaces. Oh my goodness, that's so good because she does not have a clue card yet. Or does she? She does. Never mind. She does. Okay, so that got attached. Her turn's over. We got to draw everybody draws a threat card. And that includes, what's-his-face? Ulrich. Alright, so I'm going to grab 2 cards here. We always do Karen first. So Karen gets this dude. So let me grab his miniature. And we'll put a yellow on him. And let's move the camera so you can see a little better. And he's going to spawn right there. And this guy goes in Karen's tableau. And her tableau is getting rather large. I'm actually putting the card underneath the camera. Alright, and then we have Ulrich. He gets a pretty bad guy, but this is going to go into Karen's room. And we just learned that these girls are pretty tough. These little hobgoblins. And that hobgoblin's going to go like so. Alright. And that also goes in front of Karen. And that one will get a green. So probably not the best of ideas for Karen to run out of actions right here. However, she does have 2 minions or allies that get to go. And she didn't do anything to place more traps this turn, which also hurts. I'm going to draw her card now, even though she can't play it, even though I still need to do these minions. I'm just drawing her card because I keep forgetting to do that. And it's another one of those surveying the prey ones. So I'm just going to add it to her deck. She already has one. No worries there. Okay. So the dilemma I have is I can charge my NPCs into this room, but they're going to get smacked. But I still think it's the right thing to do. Both of the NPCs aren't injured. So, for example, we'll start with Huey. He moves 4 spaces. Man, my eyesight is really bad right now. 4 spaces, and then he can attack with his intellect, which is 2 dice. So that's what he's going to do. So Huey will move 1, 2, 3 to get into this room, and then he'll go 4 to that corner. Okay? And move the camera. I see I'm moving all my stuff here. But we'll move the camera so you can see it a little bit better. So Huey's moving here, and then he's going to attack with 2 dice. Which one benefits me more? This one's going to attack with a green inflict 5. And then the other dude's going to do a red inflict 5. Huey's red defense is awful. So is his green. Cedrin's red defense is a little bit better. But both of them have awful green defense. I don't know if it matters which one they attack. This guy has 2 armor, probably a little harder to kill. Although this one has 7 health. This one only has 5. It's 6 or 1/2 dozen. Okay, so he'll go ahead and just attack this guy. And like I said, he has 2 dice. So let me see if I can round up some dice here. And I'll try to roll it right here. The enemy we're going up against is this one. As you can see, we have the problem of the 2 shields, and you can see here I have 1 success, 2 successes, and then a focus. I'm going to spend a focus, which will then mean I only did 1 hit to this person because he has 2 armor. So not the best outcome. So then we have our Cedrin Highmore. He moves up to 5 spaces and then attacks. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, he can move 5 and get just in front of Karen here. He can attack or he can heal. Now his attack is a blue attack, which is 3 dice. 3 dice probably would do some good damage. Karen actually needs to be healed, but Karen's not going to take damage this turn, so I'm actually going to use this opportunity to attack. And we get 3 dice for his attack, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I forgot, they actually have altered dice. So for Huey, I can spend a water to change up to 2 other altered dice to the results of my choice. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend a water to change 2 of the diamonds into something else. And I'm going to change the 2 diamonds into fire. And then roll the water here. Got another fire. Remember, we needed to get rid of the diamonds. And then Cedrin, we're going to attack with him. But you can see there, if we spend the swirly thing, right? Each character within range may heal 1 damage. So we actually have one of those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and re-roll this. And darn it, we got another diamond. But that does heal Karen 1 health, which is good. And then we still get to do our attack. So let's do the attack. Here's 2 successes, and then 2 of these. So we busted through the armor. She does have 3 focus, but I'm just going to do 1 damage to the guy. So now he's up to 2. Alright, so this is the one in front of Karen. Oh no, that's not in front of Karen. That's in front of Ulrich. It's just that it's next to Karen in terms of monsters. Alright, that brings us to the end of our turn. Now, the unfortunate part about missing like 2 days of recording is this is where I forget rules. And I think I'm okay. I wish I had more actions. I wish I could do more things. I'm playing a little risky here. But then we just follow the card, right? We already drew her card. So we do the threat turn and we resolve everything in order. Okay, so we're going to start with Ulrich. And then Ulrich has this little stench marker, right? That odor thing. And the odor thing, when it activates, it's going to put one of those, one of these on everybody in his threat area, which is 2. It's these 2 guys that are over here by my other camera. These are both in Ulrich's threat area. They're both the same Raglan Blooders. One of them already has 2 markers on it, and now it's going to get a 3rd. And then we're going to keep activating, and so this one activates next. So this is the red one that's knocked over. Now, I think these are going to still trigger, so he has to do a fortitude test against 3 of these, right? So basically, he could potentially take 3 damage. That's really what that fortitude test means. I'm going to check if it's characters or if it's just heroes. Before a minion with threat tokens would activate, each character in its room must do that resistance, where X is the number of threat tokens. So that means that the mage could die here. That's bad. Okay, we're going to start with Ulrich first. And yeah, we gotta succeed with a 3. So what's our situation? Well, the minion itself is just going to stand up and then his turn's over. However, he has 3 threat tokens on him, so these 2 have to pass a fortitude test. And because he has 3 tokens on him, it's going to be a fortitude test of 3. And we're going to start with Ulrich, who has a fortitude of 2. And there you go. He does 1. So I'm going to take 2 damage and the focus. So Ulrich is now up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. And I'm going to take the focus. So Ulrich is up to 4 focus. Why did I do that? Because I'm going to need the focus to help defend the mage. The mage, Q, has a fortitude of 2 as well. And there it is. That's bad. But Q at least blocked 2 of it, so Q's going to take 1 damage. Q is up to 4 damage out of 7. So I guess Q couldn't have died. My fault. I lied. Alright. So Ulrich is done with his threat area. Now we move to Karen. And her threat area, just to show how bad this is for me, it starts with these 2 stench tokens, or cards, there and there. Then it goes to this dude. Then it goes to this lurker, and then this lurker, and then this dude. And so the 2 stench token cards are going to put 2 stench on him, but no one's in his room. Okay? Oh, let me zoom out for you. So we put 2 stench on him, but no one's in that room. 2 stench on him, but no one's in that room. 2 stench on this one, but no one's in the room. I forgot to do one other thing. I will take care of that real quick. 2 stench on that one, but there is somebody in that room. Okay, I gotta back up. Ulrich had one other guy, this one, who's got 1 stench token on him, and then this one's going to attack. So we got a couple of things going on with that one. Alright, so let me get the camera put down here in a spot where nothing's going to get juggled around. Alright, so these two guys, the one that has the stink on him is this one. He's got 2 stench tokens, and so both of our NPCs are going to have to do a test. Starting with Huey, he has 2 dice, so let's roll for him. And he passed. This is actually a critical, and that's a focus token for her. So Huey passed the stench test for this one. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to do the stench check for this guy as well. That's 2. No, we'll do it in order. We'll do it in order because I think order matters in this case. And then we're going to move on to the cleric, who also has a 2. And there's 1 success. That one we will spend the token so the cleric doesn't take any damage. And there we go. We passed the stench test for this one. Now this one gets to attack. And you can see here that the attack is a green inflict 5, which is going to be hard to see because the green is how come? Oh, I'm pointing to the wrong card. This green inflict 5 is going to happen against the closest minion. Well, they're both close. So which one do I want to go against? They both have a green defense of 1, so they both stink. I'm going to choose the cleric, and the reason is because this guy, when he activates, is going to attack Huey, because Huey's the closest to him. Actually, they're both within the same range of each other, but I'm still going to just choose the cleric, because the cleric can heal himself. So cleric only gets to roll 1 die, and there you have it. That's 1. Oh, and the cleric has an armor of 1. That's the other reason why I chose him. So we have a 1 here, and then I can spend a focus to make it 2, and then the armor is 3, so the cleric is going to take 2 damage, and he's down to 4 health left. Okay, now we're going to move to this guy. Okay, this is in front of Karen, also with 2 tokens, and it's this guy right here. So we're going to do the same test again. We're going to start with the cleric, and there's 2 success, so no damage for the cleric, which was critical. And then for Huey, we got a success and a fail. Huey's going to go ahead and take the 1 damage for the 1 fail. Huey has 6 health left. Okay, so then this guy activates, and it says he's going to engage. His movement is 4, and he's going to do a red inflict 5. So he's going to move up, and I'm going to have him attack the cleric again, because I have an armor that automatically cancels 1 of that 5. And the cleric has 2 dice, whereas Huey would only have 1. So there we go. We actually have a crit. So let's roll another die. So we have 1, 2, 3, plus the armor that he rolled would be 4. He would block 4, and I'm gaining and losing a focus, so I block all 5 of his damage. So the cleric takes no damage. That's a good deal. So now we move to the villain turn. Each hero must either discard 1 armor token or do a resist 3. Resist 3 in blue. And unfortunately, we do have a diamond here, so each minion gains an armor token. And that just hurts unlike anything, because there's a lot of minions on the board right now. So I'm just off camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just put armor tokens on 6 minions here. Yeah, that hurts. Oh, I'm not even close to done. I gotta move all these other minions. So in order, this one would go first. He moves 4. He's doing an engage, inflict 5, but if unable, he's going to engage and gain 1 threat token. So we're going to have to give him a threat token. He's up to 4 now. And he's going to go 1, 2, trigger that trap, 3, 4. That's the best he can do. So we just triggered another trap, and we get to pick one of her cards. So here, each hero either gains 1 focus or 1 armor token. We can draw a search card. We get another gain 1 focus, or we could deal 2 damage. Choose a hero to play 1 card. Choose a hero to play 1 card. That's an interesting one. And then another interesting one is that we have Expert Tracker. These are reaction cards. I keep forgetting to play the reaction cards. Play before an enemy activates. For each snare token on the board, you may choose a hero to draw a card or gain a focus, and then gain a supply. I had 3 traps on the board. I would have preferred one that let me put down traps, but yeah, I'm not going to play the reaction for her, but I think the one for him I will do. Shielded by Faith. When a hero within range would suffer damage, yeah, can't do that one either. You know what? I will still do it. Nope, I won't. I'm leaving it be. Sorry. Changed my mind 100 times. Okay, so we're not going to do any reactions. I'm going to choose to do 2 damage to this guy. I think that's the best of my options. And the reason I'm doing it is because he has armor on him. Now, one of the armor he got as a result of the villain turn. So I'm going to put that back on him because that technically wasn't there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to destroy this armor here. And that's all I'm going to successfully do if I inflict 2 damage. Should I really do that? What was my other choices? I could draw a search card. I can gain a focus or an armor token myself. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just draw a search card instead of the 2 damage. So let's see. I just keep having faith that search cards are going to get me something good. So a discarded pack, gain 2 supply. That's great. We got supply. We got a lot of supply right now. Okay. Not done yet. Now we got to do these guys. This one moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This triggers a trap. And I am going to do 2 damage to this guy because he did not have the armor yet. So he's going to take a net of 1 because he has an armor. So 1 damage goes to that guy. He's got 4 health left, or 3 health left. Next, we're going to do this guy. He moves 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Okay, now we're finally done. We did the villain turn. We gave everybody an armor because there was a diamond on the altar dice. And I just re-rolled the altar dice. It's another diamond again. We're going to pull a Gert card. And we're getting a Pungent Aura. Each hero must test Intellect 3. Each hero who fails must either discard a supply or suffer a damage. Okay, that's not so bad. So the Intellect for Ulrich is only 2. So there you go. He had 2 successes. I could spend to make it a 3. I'm not. I'm going to just discard a supply and not suffer any damage. And then her intellect is also 2. And she also failed. So I'm just going to discard another supply. And then we're done. Okay, last but not least is the quest turn. So this is where we go down the path here. So this card, each hero who controls a clue card must either discard a focus for each clue they control or do a resist 3. They each only have 1 clue card, so here's the 1 focus each. And then we're going to keep going, and the altar, all that does is rolls all the dice. It does something nasty if there's a swirly, which there isn't. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep those dice. I think we could choose to re-roll 1 if we wanted. And then we go down from the features, right? There's the fountain. Nobody's next to the fountain. There's the alchemist desk. Nobody's next to the alchemist desk. We did a search. Let me move the camera so you can see better. Okay. So that's the alchemist desk up there. This one here is the mirror, and we're next to the mirror. This is a search token. We searched in the coffin room. This is going for Ulrich, and it says hero adjacent can draw a card. So we're going to discard this card and then draw a card from this deck. And we got a torn map, which is actually what she needs, Karen. So this is the other half of Karen's card. But it is enough for them to at least get one clue token on once we expose the altar. So he's got to get that over to Karen. So they're going to have to meet back up. And then we keep going. There's nobody in the coffin room. And then this is the final room. And that just says if you're next to the prison. Nobody's actually next to the prison, so when it activates, a hero adjacent to this feature may reveal the top card of the threat deck and move it to the bottom. So that doesn't happen. Okay, so we're at the end of the round. I apologize, I started to get a little sloppy at the end and missed going through her whole threat queue. You can start to see, actually, this is actually getting hard. I opened too many doors, and I have too many minions that I haven't killed off quick enough, and they're getting stronger. Their odor, the stuff about them is getting more powerful. And I'm going to have to spend, when it's Karen's turn, all 3 actions killing stuff. Because letting things stay alive is definitely not a good call. And I don't think we need to be opening any more rooms. So anyways, I would love to do another round, but I have to work, and this is way too late. But thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome, stay healthy and safe. And I know I opened up complaining. I am having fun. It feels very mechanical. I don't feel like it's flowing. But it is definitely getting more interesting. And I think it's because I'm getting reckless with opening doors. But I do enjoy it. There's a lot of things in this game to keep track of. And depending on who you are, that's good and bad. Anyways, stay awesome, stay healthy and safe.